Plaintiff Lindy Steinke says she's known the defendant for years. And in high school, he was known as a wild party guy who once got naked and streaked. Lindy claims she paid the defendant to put a new roof on her house, but he failed to complete the job and then stole her loose roof shingles. Defendant David Frazier admits that he used to be immature, but says so was Lindy. David claims in high school, Lindy and her friends had competitions to see who could sleep with the most guys, and he denies stealing anything from Lindy.
Start with you.
I've known David since, as far as I can remember. We're both from a really small town. He always had the reputation of being the really wild, fun, crazy party guy. I mean, his freshman year of high school, he stripped down naked in front of everyone and streaked down the road. That's just kind of his persona and who he was. So he's really hilarious, but he's not really someone that you would have wanted to get in a relationship with. So whenever he started dating my cousin Chelsea, the girl that's with him here today, our family wasn't the most pleased. We kind of cringed a little bit, but we kind of all figured it was just a phase. You know, you got to date a couple duds to kind of figure it out. I've dated a couple myself, it's okay. Except when she called me crying one day telling me that she was pregnant. That's when I knew that it went to a whole nother level. I'm actually a young mom myself, so I know how hard it is to get pregnant by a guy that you're not really sure is ready to step up to the plate. I sympathized with her. I just told her that either he would step up and be the man or he wouldn't. She couldn't really force it. Once the baby was born, it really did seem like he was going to be great for them. He moved Chelsea and the baby in with them. He was working construction during the day and bartending at night just to get them by. I really had high hopes and I was respecting him. Unfortunately, it turned out that he was still unreliable and he's still immature.
Plaintiff Lindy Steinke is suing her former friend, who claims in high school, Lindy competed with her friends to see who could sleep with the most men.
Let me hear from you.
Lindy's basically trying to make me out to be very immature. I don't believe that I am. I maybe was at one point, but not anymore.
Yeah, he wears clothes now. Before he was streaking.
Yeah,
so.
as you can see, I am clothed today, so.
You have matured a little.
Yeah, a little bit. So, but I mean, as from high school, I can remember Lindy and all of her friends having competitions with each other to see who could sleep with the most guys. I mean, I don't know if she's still in competition anymore, but I don't hold anything against her as a person. She's had a son. And she's grown up, but as have I. I have a son now also.
How old were you as a young father?
How was I?
How old were you?
20.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
I mean, we had our struggles,
Stand up, ma'am. Let me just hear from you. State your name.
I'm Chelsea.
All right, what have you been doing since the child? How old is the child?
He's 10 months old.
All right, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What have you been doing?
I work at Toys R Us. I work as a cashier and stalker. And,
Never thought about going to college or trade school?
Yeah, I did, but I don't want him being at babysitters all the time. Like, I just want to be the mother and take care of him. I work like 2 days.
That delays your college or your education, whether
Yes.
it's a trade school or what have you.
Yes.
And it's a struggle financially.
Yeah, sometimes.
All right, good enough. Just want young people who are watching to know that that's the real deal. You all didn't use any type of protection? Neither of you all?
Not that night.
Well, I was on birth control, but I forgot
You
to
on
take
birth
it.
control, but you forgot to take it?
Yeah.
Good enough. So you're mature now. You're taking care of your child. Good. And you owe her money, so she says. Let's hear from you on this, ma'am.
The short and sweet version is I recently bought my first house, and in the home inspection, they said that it needed a new roof done. And so I thought, he does construction, he does roofs, it could be the perfect pairing. I could help out my cousin, help out them, and hire him. I paid him $2,900 up front to complete it. I have the cashier's check that I paid.
What did he say it would cost approximately? Did he give you an estimate? Did he tell you what it might be?
That's the estimate he gave me. Was
Oh,
he
okay.
told me for $2,900 he would do it.
And you paid him all up front, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And then 3 months later, it still was about a third completed. He just,
$2,900 up front. He took that money to the weed house, didn't he? Immediately. He went straight to the weed. He hadn't worked since. Go ahead. One need to get your roof fixed.
Yeah.
Gave him $2,900 up front, and then what was the time frame?
We didn't have a deadline at first. I just thought it would take a couple weekends at most, maybe. 3 months later, it still wasn't even a third completed. I have pictures of how much he actually...
And when did you first begin asking for some explanations in terms of when it would be complete?
I paid him on June 27th. At the very end of July was the first time he showed up to actually work on it. He got like 5 to 6 rows done. That's when I started becoming concerned. I asked, when, and he just kept saying like, I'll be there. And then every weekend it was an excuse of my baby's sick, or I didn't have a ride, or my helper quit.
How many times did he miss, or weekends?
In the 3 months that we had, he only showed up 3 times.
Okay. All right. And obviously you've asked for some of your money back. Mm-hmm. And what has he said?
He at points would offer me money back, but he said that the most he should ever pay me back is $700.
But right off the bat, out of the $2,900, the supplies were $1,400. And if she wanted, $1,000 back, there's no way I just did half a roof for $400.
First, let's start with why haven't you completed the work?
Well, first of all, my dad got sick in the hospital for 6 weeks, which, I understand I wasn't there all the time, but at the same time, right off the bat, I told her I would not be there every day. It was a weekend thing. At one point in the 3 months, she had me stop the roof to do a floor, which is 100% completed today. She was very happy with it, as far as I know.
She says she wants her money back because you failed to complete. Obviously, you stopped him from completing it out of frustration. Did you get someone else to do it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, and how much did they charge?
They charged $1,000 for their labor, but he actually showed up while I was on vacation after I told him I wanted him to stop completion and stole all of the materials that weren't nailed down to my roof back.
Plaintiff Lindy Steinke is suing her former friend, who claims in high school Lindy competed with her friends to see who could sleep with the most men.
Sir, did you do that?
Actually, I did not. I haven't even been on her property since she told me I couldn't. I still even have a ladder there that I haven't been
How
to
do you figure it was him?
My boyfriend.
Makes sense. You get mad, come back, retaliate, take your stuff.
I actually have a report there, a statement from my neighbor saying that he saw the same white truck that had been there previously, and David and a blonde girl.
I actually got rid of the truck about 2 months
Blonde
into the
girl
roof,
went into the backyard and loaded bundles of shingles into the truck. You say you got rid of
I haven't had that truck
the truck and the blonde girl?
a while.
I
I still have the blonde girl, but not the truck.
Oh, you still
I got
have
rid
the
of
blonde
that
girl.
late July.
You still have the blonde girl that was described in the letter. Thank you for admitting. All right. All right, sir. And supplies, you say you didn't take them. And how much did you want for the supplies?
It ended up costing me $763 to replace everything.
All right. And how do you come? You want the full amount back? Because
No, only 2/3 of what I paid him.
Okay, well, that means he would have completed 1/3. This looks about half, doesn't it?
If you see the flat roof in the other picture, that all had to be tore off. And then
So
the
why
other
did it have to
picture,
be torn off?
if you look at it, you can see that it's bubbled. All the nails are showing.
So he
still.
did it wrong?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you want not only monies for him not completing it, but because he did it wrong also.
Yeah, that's why I'm only considering it a third done.
Sir?
I do not believe it was done wrong. I've worked on upwards of $2 million houses around the Notre Dame campus, and that's how we do every one of
hand
their
that to him. Perhaps you can tell me what's going on there then.
The only thing I can think of with that is the plywood hasn't been replaced since the main house, and it could be
What's
popping
that?
up. The plywood maybe under the shingles could be getting wet and popping up.
I'm going to grant your judgment. You don't have a reasonable defense that I'm hearing, sir. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
I really do hope that we can still, be a family and that you guys will still be a couple. I don't want to tear you guys apart in any means.
We'll be okay.
If you can relate to any of our cases today, visit my website, askjudgemathis.com, and let me know your question.